What's up, nerds? My name's Cory Bergeron. You are watching Cory Bergeron Recordings, and we are back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to the first song I was paid real money to mix. And let me tell you, the entire production was a bit of a train wreck disaster in almost every single way, and I learned from it, and hopefully watching this video, you'll learn something from it. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I was recently hanging out with my friend, who's a drummer. He's been playing in bands for years, and he just kind of started his production journey. And I asked him, why don't you record your band? Not with the intention of making the final product, but to sharpen your skills, make stronger demos, spend more time working with the DAW, equipment, working with people, and maybe even making a better quality demo so that when you go to work with a producer, you have a more realized version of the song that you're trying to create. And he understood that, but one of his issues was he's never mixed anything. He has no experience mixing, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So I replied and I said, well, one, mixing isn't the goal, and more importantly, nobody knows how to mix when they're starting out. You might know what the music should sound like, but mixing is a complicated process where you have to have a strong musical understanding. You have to have the awareness of what the final product should sound like, all the individual elements within the mix, how they need to fit together to make that, as well as you have to have a really strong understanding of, your tools, your software, and, navigating through a DAW and all that stuff. So, to really drive that point home, in front of me, I have the first song I was paid real money to mix. It's a 5-minute long song. I'm going to go into all the details of the production afterward. But, yeah, I'm going to play this for you. If at any point you get bored of this song or you want to skip past it, I will leave a comment at the top of the comment section where you can, with a time code, so you can just click on that time code and you can skip past to the next part of the video. But here we go. I'm going to be listening to the first song that I was ever paid money to mix. Okay, I made it roughly 1 minute and 30 seconds through that. I am not going to listen to that entire song because I think the things worth talking about are very obvious right off the bat. So let's talk about the production. So I was in college, and one of my classmates told me that he was going to be recording a metal band from his hometown, and that he wanted to know if I would mix it. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So he goes and records this band. I find out that they are no older than 15 years old, and they have no experience recording, and neither does my friend, who is the engineer. So as you can probably assume, it was a disaster, like I said earlier. So I receive the files, I get a Pro Tools session, and the guitars, bass, and vocals seem like they're somewhat together, like they're playing the same song. But the drums are like a completely different tempo, and it's just like, it's not even recognizable that they are like supposed to be part of the same song. So I make the executive decision that I'm going to rewrite all of the drum parts and just click them in MIDI. And I remember spending a full day doing that. And if you didn't know, I'm not a drummer. I probably didn't know how to change the grid in Pro Tools to like a triplet rhythm. So I think every single drum fill is like snare, high tom, floor tom. And it's all like probably 16th notes, just like the same fill over and over again. Yeah, so I rewrote their drum parts, sent them the files. The first thing the guitar player sent back was a video on how to EQ guitars, which is hilarious. He sent me a video and he said that like, I'm not really huge on the way the guitars sound. Are you able to make them sound like this? And in the video that he sent me, the guitar tone from the recording was already great, and then it was just kind of enhancing it a bit, and I had to break it to him. I was like, with what I was given, there's no way I can make them sound like that. And yeah, so I go back and forth with the band, sending them mix revisions, and eventually I think they gave up and just accepted that it was going to be what it was. I think in total I got paid like $200 to $300. The other engineer paid me, which was kind of like an interesting thing. That was the process. That was the first time I mixed a project professionally. I knew that it wasn't what it should have been right there, but I didn't really know what the appropriate steps to change it were, and it kind of wasn't my role. And I think for everyone involved, it was a learning experience. I think the other engineer realized that recording metal is not his passion. I think the band realized that when they go to hire a producer, that they should hire someone that has experience working on the music that they like, and that they can listen to some of their previous work and assure that, just know what they're getting into. And then for me, I realized pretty quickly that you cannot make something that doesn't sound very good much better, and that, that's basically what I learned from that experience. Now, I'm not going to go through and dissect this mix and be like, oh, the bass could be a little this and the guitar could be a little that, because I think there's an issue with everything. One notable thing is that there are outrageously loud bass drops in the song, which is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. This band since disbanded. I think they split not too long after this recording. And there you go. That is my first mix. So the whole point of this video is basically everyone starts at the same spot, not knowing anything. And this doesn't just apply to mixing. This applies to everything in life. So if there's something you want to get good at, you have to put the time and you have to put the experience. You have to be willing to make mistakes. Hopefully not on someone else's dime, but you have to be willing to make mistakes. And from there, you learn what not to do. You learn what works, what doesn't, and you get better with every production that you do. So I hope you learned something. If not, I hope that was entertaining. And that's it for this video. Happy Thanksgiving if you live in Canada. And subscribe, comment, all those things. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.